Hello, hi students. So today we are going to start this nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. This is a very widely used technique for structural elucidation of compounds which cannot be crystallized. So if a compound can be crystallized, the structure can be elucidated by using X-ray crystallography. So if a compound is available in liquid state, then the structural elucidation is possible by using NMR spectroscopy. So this is very much widely used in studying the dynamic structure of proteins, nucleic acids, or maybe bigger molecules. So nowadays spectroscopy is a very much uh, important tool in research also. So without spectroscopy you could not characterize the structural features of molecule. So that's spectroscopy. Anyway, before going to study this NMR spectroscopy, what do you mean by spectroscopy? It is interaction of light with matter. On interaction of light with matter, what happens? The structure of the matter, whatever matter that is under incidence or on interaction, whichever matter is interacting with that light, the matter structure can be understood by using a study that is called as spectroscopy. And if such kind of interaction of materials or matter or compounds with light, if you study, such study is referred as spectroscopy. So when light is incident on particular surface and the characteristics of the material are obtained in a study, that is called as spectroscopy. And now we are going to move into this next chapter, that is nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, NMR in short it is. So what is this NMR and what are the contents that we are having in this chapter? Let us see the contents. So we in this chapter we are going to study the principle of NMR spectroscopy and equivalent and non-equivalent protons, and we restrict our discussion to proton NMR and position of signals, chemical shift, NMR splitting of signals, spin-spin coupling, and what do we mean by integration of NMR spectrum, representation of that NMR spectrum, and we will study a few molecules H1 NMR in the case of ethyl bromide, acetaldehyde, 1,1,2 tribromoethane, ethyl acetate, and acetophenone. These examples are given as part of our curriculum. So let us see these examples and their structural elucidation by using NMR spectroscopy. So this is the contents in that chapter. So we are going to see one by one. So as indicated, the name itself is indicating that it is nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. So in this chapter 1, in this lecture, we are going to learn about the principle of NMR, equivalent protons and non-equivalent protons, and number of signals that NMR of a compound is expected to have. And not positions may not be, signals we shall see. So what is the principle of NMR? So though all the nuclei possess usually charge and mass. Nuclei will have a positive charge and it will have its mass because of neutrons and protons. And when there is odd mass means 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 like that. So when there is odd mass for the nuclei, or when there is odd atomic number also. Two conditions, when there is odd mass or when there is odd atomic number, the nuclei especially possess magnetic spin. Magnetic spin. When you are having an odd mass, the nuclei possess what? A net magnetic spin they possess. And such nuclei are your H1 proton, deuterium 1H2, carbon 613 isotope, fluorine 919 isotope, phosphorus 1531 isotope. So what is common in all these nuclei? That they are having either odd mass they are having or odd atomic number. So hydrogen is having atomic number 1, so odd atomic number. Carbon having even atomic number, but the mass is odd. So one of the feature has to be odd, that your atomic number should be odd or mass number should be odd. If it is odd, then what happens? They possess magnetic spin. So we could able to isolate such molecules or such atoms which are having what? Odd mass or odd atomic number, and they are having what? Magnetic spin they possess. They will possess net magnetic spin. For example, if I take something like carbon 612, there is a nuclei like carbon 612. So its atomic number is even and mass number is also even. So if it is even, they do not have what? Magnetic spin. If they are not having any magnetic spin, then they may not be resonating to external magnetic field applied. So I used one more word. They do not resonate to external magnetic field applied. What is resonating to external magnetic field? The nuclei which are having net magnetic spin can absorb energy from light in the form of radio frequency radiation. When a radio frequency radiation falls on these nuclei and these nuclei are aligned in some magnetic field, then what happens is they absorb this energy and moves into higher energy state from alpha to beta. From the picture it is evident. And these protons resonate between their spin energy states and they get aligned with the field or aligned against the field. They may, when they are aligned with the field, you can say that they are resonating. Even when they are aligned against the field also, you can say that these nuclei are spinning or precessing, you can say. So when applied radio frequency radiation and what you apply external magnetic field, then what happens is the nuclei precess or spin according to the applied magnetic field. So they simply spin like this. So if they are spinning, they can say that these nuclei are under precision because of the given applied magnetic field. Then what you can say is that the nuclei are in resonance. And which nuclei will show this resonance phenomena? Only such nuclei which are having odd mass or odd atomic number are expected to show spinning or precession in presence of applied external magnetic field. When they are spinning in presence of external applied magnetic field, then you can call them that the nuclei are under resonance, and that resonance is nuclear magnetic resonance. Okay. So if nuclei are resonating under external magnetic field, that can be recorded. In presence of applied external magnetic field, if the nuclei are spinning or if the nuclei are rotating in presence of external magnetic field, these spinning nuclei absorb the radio frequency radiation of 60 to 600 megahertz, and then they are said to be in resonance. If they are absorbing this radio frequency radiation, a spinning nuclei, when they are spinning in presence of external magnetic field, if they are spinning, they absorb what? Radio frequency radiation, and the amount of radiation that is absorbed can be recorded. If that is recorded, then we get a graphical picture in the form of lines. That graphical picture is referred as spectrum, and that spectrum is possible for proton, that is H1 nuclei, or C13 nuclei, or F19 nuclei, or P31 nuclei. All of them are having what? Odd mass, you can see that, or odd atomic number. So carbon 613 is having odd mass but not atomic number. So one should be odd, that one of the properties should be odd, then they are magnetically active nuclei. These magnetically active nuclei can have nuclear magnetic resonance, and the graph obtained for them is referred as nuclear magnetic resonance spectrum, NMR spectrum. So you can have H1 NMR spectrum, C13 NMR spectrum, F19 NMR spectrum, P31 NMR spectrum, are some known NMR techniques. So with that, we can understand the quantum of hydrogens or type of hydrogens that are present in a given molecule. If you take H1 NMR spectrum, or you can detect the quantum of C13s or carbons of a type in a given molecule by using C13 NMR spectrum. Similarly, in the case of fluorine and P31 NMR also, the kind of fluorines, the chemical environment can be detected or it can be assessed by using this NMR spectroscopy. Thus, the main use of this NMR is in quantifying the types of protons in a given molecule. So what type of protons are present, what kind of chemical environment could be associated with them, can be detected or can be assessed by using this NMR spectroscopy. This helps us in understanding the structure of molecules. This helps us in understanding the structure. So ultimately, the goal is to understand what? The structure of a given molecule, and that can be understood by using what? NMR spectroscopy. So from the graph you can obtain the structure. That's how it is. Anyway, I used one more word here, radio frequency radiation, that you should be familiar with. That radio frequency radiation is having a range of what? A frequency less than what? Infrared radiation. This microwaves and radio waves, this range is referred as what? Radio waves. So 60 to 600 megahertz, that range is 60 to 600 megahertz. This range is what? Your radio frequency radiation. This we will make use of. Such spinning in presence of an external magnetic field, if the nuclei are spinning onto them, this radio frequency radiation is passed. Then they absorb this radiation, and the amount of light that is absorbed or emitted can be recorded, and that recorded thing is obtained as lines or a graph. That graph is what? NMR spectroscopy or NMR spectrum, we can say, and that instrument is referred as NMR spectroscopy instrument. So before going to that NMR spectrum, so let us see some terms, how to identify by simply looking at molecules. Certain terms will be very much handy. Equivalent and non-equivalent protons. What are these equivalent and non-equivalent protons? If protons are in identical environment, so similar chemical environment, if they are experiencing a set of protons, look at a set of protons, if they are experiencing a same chemical environment or magnetically same environment, if they are present in, then you can say that they are identical. They are expressed as identical in spectroscopy. So they are equivalent protons. So simply by looking at the structure, you can try to tell. Sometimes it is possible. So for example, if I say take methane, so your methane is what? Carbon surrounded with 4 hydrogens is methane. So this hydrogen at the bottom is experiencing this CH3 chemical environment. This hydrogen at the bottom is experiencing the environment of this CH3. And similarly, look at the top hydrogen. This hydrogen is also experiencing, or it is under the chemical environment of this CH3, which means the top hydrogen and the bottom hydrogen are experiencing the same kind of chemical environment. Even the hydrogen that is on the right, you have a look at this one, this is experiencing the chemical environment of this CH3, And similarly, this hydrogen on the left is also experiencing the chemical environment of this CH3, which means any hydrogen on methane is experiencing the same kind of chemical environment. This hydrogen, this hydrogen, this and this, all four hydrogens are experiencing the rest of that CH3. So therefore, you can say that each and every hydrogen in methane are chemically identical, or you can say they are equivalent protons, or you can say that all four hydrogens in methane will give you one single signal. It's one signal in proton NMR. Okay, so that's how it is. Similarly, as we said, that what are equivalent protons? That are identical in every way. They have the same chemical environment or magnetic environment. If protons are having same chemical or magnetic environment, you can say that they are equivalent. So let us see one more example here. In the case of benzene, have a look at, in the case of benzene, you are having what carbon with this hydrogen. You have a look at on benzene. If I say this hydrogen is equivalent with this and this hydrogen is equivalent with this, because the chemical environment in which this hydrogen is present is same as the chemical environment in which the other hydrogen is present. Every hydrogen in benzene experiences the same kind of chemical environment. Similarly, in the case of acetone also, have a look at acetone. What is the formula of acetone? CH3 C double bond O CH3, where each and every hydrogen on this CH3 will have the same kind of environment as the of this CH3. That this CH3 hydrogen is experiencing an environment of COCH3, and this hydrogen is also experiencing an environment of COCH3 on the left hand side. Right hand side hydrogens are experiencing COCH3, and left hand side hydrogen of CH3 is also experiencing COCH3. Therefore, all hydrogens on acetone are said to be chemically equivalent, or they are having same magnetic environment, you can say. So therefore only one set of hydrogens are there in acetone, and you will have one signal for 6 hydrogens. And here also benzene aromatic hydrogens are same. If there is substitution, obviously there will be difference, but we will see that one later. In the case of pyruvate, have a look at this. All the 3 hydrogens are experiencing similar kind of magnetic environment. So this, though this is appears to be close, but usually this is all the 3 hydrogens will experience similar kind of environment. So similarly, in the case of cyclohexane, have a look at this CH2 will have the same environment as this CH2. How? Because everything rest of the molecule is same. So this CH2 will have the same experience as this CH2, which means all hydrogens are equivalent. So all hydrogens are what? Chemically equivalent. They have the same magnetic environment, or all are experiencing the same chemical environment. Chemical environment means what? You should see the rest of the molecule. So the surroundings of this hydrogen is same as this surround. The surroundings of this hydrogen is same as this hydrogen surrounding. The surroundings of this hydrogen is same as this hydrogen surrounding. Then you can say both are identical. Both are what? Equivalent. Here are not identical. You will use the word what? Equivalent. Okay. So the explanation is something like this. In benzene, all 6 hydrogens are in same chemical environment, therefore are equivalent. In acetone, 3 hydrogens on left are having similar environment as that of 3 hydrogens on the right. In cyclohexane also, all 12 hydrogens experience similar chemical environment, therefore are chemically and magnetically equivalent, you can put it as. So once you see what non-equivalent is, then it is pretty easy to understand what equivalent is. So what is that non-equivalent means? So simply, if 2 protons that you are looking at on different carbons, they are non-identical in at least one way, that they have different chemical environment or they have different magnetic environment, you can classify them as non-equivalent protons. So here in this case they should have what? Different chemical environment. If different chemical environment is observed around protons, you can say they are different. See, let us see one molecule. So look at this molecule of methyl acetate. So methyl acetate. So CH3 C double bond O CH3, that is your methyl acetate. So in that methyl acetate, look at the environment around red hydrogens. These red hydrogens are surrounded by C double bond O. So first they experience C double bond O and O. So magnetically they are close to what? C double bond O. And what about the blue hydrogens? The blue hydrogens are far from C double bond O, or they are immediately attached to what? Oxygen. Or you can say that the chemical environment of CH3 on the blue side is different from the chemical environment of CH3 on the red side. So which means both are having what? Experience, both are experiencing different chemical environment. If they are experiencing different chemical environment, what you can say as they are different sets of protons, they are non-equivalent protons, they are chemically non-equivalent protons. So if they are chemically non-equivalent protons, both will give different signals, as simple as that. If both are what? Chemically non-equivalent, both will give different sets of signals. That this hydrogens will give different, red hydrogens will give different signal and blue hydrogens will give different signal. The magnetic environment of this hydrogens, that is red hydrogens, is different from the magnetic environment of blue hydrogens. Therefore methyl acetate has two sets of non-equivalent protons and gives two signals. So let us see that one in the case of acetaldehyde. So acetaldehyde formula is CH3 C double bond OH. So have a look at the hydrogens on CH3. Hydrogens on CH3 are having an chemical environment of COH, and hydrogens on COH, that is this aldehydic hydrogen, is under the chemical environment of CH3, or it is experiencing a different chemical environment from these three hydrogens. These CH3 hydrogens are experiencing different chemical environment to that of hydrogens of aldehyde, that is CHO aldehyde. This experience the environment of CH3, and these three hydrogens are experiencing a different chemical environment. Therefore you can say that these three hydrogens of CH3 will give different signal and this CH will give different signal. Therefore you have two sets of protons which are non-equivalent, CH3 protons and CHO proton. This, so you have two non-equivalent protons. And if someone asks you this CH3 hydrogens, all the three are what? Equivalent. Three are equivalent and this hydrogen is non-equivalent with that of these three hydrogens. Whereas in the case of methane, all are equivalent. This hydrogen, top hydrogen, is equivalent with bottom hydrogen. This left hydrogen is equivalent with the top, bottom and right hydrogens. This right hydrogen is equivalent with the top, left, bottom hydrogens in the methane. So methane has what? Chemically equivalent protons. But whereas acetaldehyde has what? Here these three are non-equivalent with this hydrogen, and this hydrogen is non-equivalent with these hydrogens. So you have two different non-equivalent sets of protons. You will get two different signals. Similarly, have a look at these examples. Ethane. So in the case of ethane, what is the chemical environment of any hydrogen you take? Look at the chemical environment of any hydrogen. All hydrogens are equivalent here, because this hydrogen, extreme left A hydrogen, experiences this C2H5, and extreme right hydrogen also experiences C2H5, and this top hydrogen also experiences C2H5. Therefore what you can say is all are chemically equivalent. These three hydrogens are experiencing environment of these three hydrogens, and these three hydrogens on carbon experiences environment of CH3. CH3 experiencing CH3, CH3 experiencing CH3. Therefore only one set of protons you are having in ethane. And in the case of N-butane, look at this N-butane. That's here how many sets of non-equivalent protons? Clearly you can say that it is having two sets of non-equivalent protons, because the CH3 on the left hand side and the CH3 on the right hand side are experiencing the same chemical environment. So if someone asks for chemical environment of this CH3, it is under the influence of CH2, CH3, and chemical environment of this CH3 on the right hand side is CH2, CH2, CH3. But what about the central CH2? These hydrogens are experiencing a different environment from A type of hydrogens. B type of hydrogens are experiencing CH3 and CH2 on both sides. But A type of hydrogens are experiencing only CH2 on the right hand side or left hand side. Therefore, the central, this is B type and this is also B type. Have a look at the environment of these B type of protons is same as this B type of protons. Isn't that or not? So if someone says the environment of this one is same as this one, then both are what? Same set. So you have B type and A type. B type, this is again a B type and this is A type. So you have two sets of non-equivalent protons. Now one more example. This is butanone. In the case of butanone, you are having how many sets of non-equivalent protons? Butanone, 2 butanone it is, CH3, CH2, C double bond O, CH3. And this CH3 on the left hand side and this CH3 on the right hand side. Both are having different chemical environment. So both are different sets. This is A set and this is some C set we have given as. And this middle CH2 is having different environment from A set and C set. Therefore, this is a different set. So you got three different sets of protons which are non-equivalent. A set, B set and C set. Three sets of non-equivalent protons. So you could expect three signals in the case of butanone. So some handwritten examples. In the case of ethane, once again here it is given. So how many? This CH3 is A type and this CH3 is also A type. So you'll have only one NMR signal since all protons are same or equivalent. Now in the case of benzene, this is benzene. Benzene is having only A type of protons. So you'll get only one NMR signal. Now this is example 3, which is butanone, cyclobutane. This cyclobutane is having A type, A type, A type and A type. All are equivalent protons. So you'll get only one NMR signal. Now acetone, CH3, C double bond O, CH3, A type and A type. So you'll have one signal. Now have a look at this propane. Propane is what? CH3, CH2, CH3. Propane, CH3, CH2, CH3. In this you are having how many sets? This is A type, this is B type and this is A type again, because the environment of this CH3 is same as environment of this CH3. Therefore both are A type of protons. So you'll have how many signals? Two signals, A type and B type. You'll get two signals. Now in the case of alcohol, your alcohol will have CH3, CH2, OH. So again here you are having three signals, but only attach it to carbon. If you say, you will get two signals. OH, this hydrogen may not be obtained as signal, but still attach it to carbon. You can say this is one signal, this is B is one signal, because the chemical environment of this CH3 is different from chemical environment of CH2. CH2 is experiencing one side OH, another side CH3, but CH3 is experiencing only one side CH2OH. So which means environment of CH3 is different from environment of CH2. Therefore both are giving different signals. You will get A signal and B signal. This C may be omitted. This is A plus B signal, and OH, if particularly irradiated, you may get that signal also. And but usually we will write with carbons attached. This C is not written. A plus B signal. Now this, look at this. Chloropropane example. Chloropropane. Now this CH3 is having a different environment from this CH2. Therefore both are different. What about the CH2B and CH2C type? Both are what? Different, because this way it is chlorine is there and this way it is CH2. But this is experiencing this way CH2, this way CH3. So both are different. So you'll have A set, B set and C set. CH3, CH2, CH2Cl is having three different sets of protons. And this is ether, dimethyl ether. Dimethyl ether CH3, with this way it is what? OCH3. This CH3, this way it is OCH3. So again what it is? This is A type and this is also A type, because both are under same chemical environment. Therefore you have one signal. Now in the case of cyclopropane, methyl substituted cyclopropane is having how many signals? Have a look at. So chemical environment of this CH3 is different, so one type, and chemical environment of this hydrogen is different, B type, and chemical environment of these two hydrogens is same, this hydrogen and this hydrogen is same, so C type, and this hydrogen and this hydrogen will have same chemical environment, therefore it is a D type. Thus you have 4 signals you can expect in this case. Okay, thank you.